Sister Godrid here for the series on ICF Core Competencies. Wow. Looks like the more I'm doing this, the more I feel refreshed myself, and I'm reminded of the importance of this core competency. How is it for you? So far, we've done like core competencies, the foundational two, ethics, and coaching mindset. We also did the coach establishes and maintains agreement core competency 3. Today we'll be talking about establishing core competency 4, establishes trust and safety. If I say trust and safety, what comes up for you? How do you show trust? How do you create trust? How do you facilitate a trusting environment in a coaching conversation? These are some questions we'll try to answer in this mini video on core competencies. And as you know, I deeply encourage, after watching these videos, like we try to keep them short, maximum 15 to 20 minutes, not more, to actually do something with it. Listen, from what you heard in the mini video, what are you seeing? What are you observing? What are you noticing in your own coaching? Hey, as you know, I wanted to call this is part of like the mentor coaching wagon where we actually take the time to learn from our recording. I really hope you're not just watching the series like that. It will help you will get some things for your head, but to really check how you are embodying these core competencies, it takes time to stop and observe. Well, I'm stressing maybe on it because I saw the difference it made for me. Had read a lot of books on core competency, had read a lot of things online. But when you stop and you listen to how you're being in that coaching conversation, and the client starts to talk, and you notice that, okay, yeah, I see this is going on. Bam, Judith, you are not being open, you are doing the work for the client. And when you observe, when you listen to your recording, it brings out how you're showing up. It's not something hypothetical. The reality is, if you listen to 10 recording and there are some tendencies that may mean that that's how you're being in your coaching conversation, and there might be a need to switch and tweak things. That's why I deeply believe in the power of reflective work. Because as you take the time, you notice, yeah, I do a lot of leading coaching. Like I take the place, or I'm spoiling the canal, talking too much. Shut them out and listen. And you will notice that when you pause and really observe how you're being in your coaching conversation. So please, as you take the time to watch this series, the key points that are mentioned for each core competency, what are you seeing about that in your own coaching conversation? So today we will do as we did for the other competencies. We'll take some time first to look at the definition. What does ICF say about that specific competency? What does that mean? And then we will discuss how it sounds like at various levels, and then some quick, if time allows, some quick things to help you stay on the safe side when preparing your recording that will be assessed by ICF for your ICF credential. I'm laughing because so far I'm like quickly taking a lot of time on the key points, and since this has to hold in under 15 minutes or 20 max, it's like, oh, are you sure you get time? But the good news is you have the slides, so all the content is in there. Even if we do not get to those contra evidence behavior to look for, they are on the slides that you receive in your membership area. So core competency 4 is part of the second grouping, co-creating the relationship. And as you can see, trust is all about, when you hear trust, has something to do with relationship. Maybe you've heard a lot of psychologically safe environment, trust in relationship, lover, friend, kids. Trust, has everything to do with relationship. As an ICF wants that coach develops the ability to cultivate trust and safety in the coaching conversation. And as we trust It's all about trusting yourself, the relationship with yourself in the coaching conversation or in general as a coach. Trusting yourself, trusting the client, and trusting the process. Well, as I worked on myself, understanding and growing, when I munch on trust, because you hear that, like, if you study and read a lot of material for coaches, trust yourself, trust the client, trust the process. What does that even mean? Well, if I trust myself as a coach, if you trust yourself as a coach, there's no hesitation. You trust that what needs to be said, you will get. It brings peace. So you are not always thinking what framework, what tool. No, no, you trust all is well. Like, it's kind of a confidence thing. I have what it takes, and I will show up the way it's needed for this client. And that trust, have you noticed that when I started talking about the calm, it's not, oh no, calm. Trust yourself as a coach. Because you trust yourself as a coach, you stay focused on the client. You know you have what it takes to help this client. You know. Yeah, you figure out. It will come up, it will emerge in the conversation. Same, when you trust the client, he may say things, and you know how it goes in conversation. They may start to talk and then switch to something else. If you don't trust the client, in your head, you may start to go, whoa, I don't even know where this conversation is going. Oh, this person, no. And when you're having all that talk, you're not here. You're not listening. There might be something coming. He may have switched because you don't see the link between what they just said and what they started with. Being present as a coach will mean, hey, what link? That question, you don't go and take it and process it in your head, but you give it to the client and you trust him. Oh, what link could there be between this thing that you said and the initial, and being comfortable with, I don't know. It's fine. It's not like the conversation, oh my God, I'm in hot waters here, which brings us back to trusting yourself as a coach. I don't know is a perfectly good answer. I don't know. How do you want us to go from here? Maybe what is coming up for you? Because I know for many years it was, oh my God, like in a conversation, in a coaching, and then that client start, what is going on? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want this conversation to be stuck. And I easily take back the lead, put my consulting hat. Oh, I work with this person. I have experience. I make it about me. And we have seen in the coaching thing that it's the client responsibility. It's not you. Content is the client. So if you reach a point in a conversation where the client is like, I don't know, allow the silence. In that silence, something may emerge. If you allow the silence, nothing comes up. Also notice what's going on with them. Any emotion, any body, any indication. Oh, I see your face. I see this is what is going on. Something may emerge from that. So I don't know if you trust yourself, if you trust the client, you don't panic when you hear, I don't know. That's one thing. Like when listening to a call, observe what happens when a client says, I don't know, like how the client responds. So you trust the client and you give him the mic. I told you when you in early days, early years of coaching, I don't know, I don't want to allow this conversation to get stuck. And I take power, put my consulting and propose things. I did this, I experienced this, I have this too. I'm taking back the mic. If you trust the client, you give them the mic. You let them stay with the mic. Because as they have the mic, they are processing. It's their time to perform. The conversation is for them. It's all about them. So you trust yourself as a coach. You trust the client. You give him the mic. and you trust the coaching process. There are conversations where it starts here and then after some time goes a different direction. You're not worried or feel like, ooh, what is going on here? They started talking about team. Now they're talking about their manager. And okay, in terms even of deliverable execution, they're not where they're supposed to be. It seems like to be in all direction. Stay calm and trust that what needs to emerge from the conversation will emerge. And the very capable client you're working with will figure out, get some insight, and get something out of that conversation. This is really important. And that's why I took all the time to talk about this. Like, if you understand and really embody this yourself as a coach, you will see how you so more at peace, more calm, more focused, more centered on the client. You know and you trust that what needs to emerge will emerge. You have what it takes to help the client, and you know they are infinitely brilliant. And as you keep the space, they will come up with something useful for them. Yeah, so time for question. How you trusting? I'm seeing the time and I'm seeing the rest of things to be said. Oh, okay, maybe Judith, let them go through the slide, but I don't want to finish this little capsule without talking about how trust shows at each level. So let's do that after this quick break. Yeah, so we are talking core competency for coach establishes and maintains trust and safety. So I will quickly browse because there were more things I wanted to say when preparing. Yeah, safe environment, the content I was talking about, and then this mutual. It's not like you trust them. Again, in this one, I've done like the general thing, and then in the coaching conversation. You have all of this in your members, so you can go through it. We could take like an hour just going through the slides. Um, yes, this is what I wanted to share before my time is over. How evidence of establishing trust and safety. So at the ACC level, the coach is how you identify that this person is coaching at ACC level, PCC, or MCC level. So at ACC level, like we are starting out. So in general, there's the pressure to perform. Am I really a great coach? Yeah, and I want to ensure I provide value. It's coming, the intention is excellent. We want to help, but we want to help, and I want to say at ACC, the coach trusts themselves. So the focus is, am I doing well? Am I? So the coach is really focused, am I performing well? And he's not really focusing on the client needs. Do I have a framework? Do I have something to give? Do I have a solution? Do I have an example? That's where the focus of the coach is. At PCC level, the coach trusts the client, but he still wanna be the good coach. What does that mean? He still wanna show up. I have experience. I have expertise, and a way to notice that is the coach is not kind of challenging. There's something going on. You feel like there's some underbelly. There's an issue there, but also you want to please. So you trust the client, but you don't want to displease them. At MCC level, like the at PCC, there's still some things about how the coach, oh, I have a solution. PCC is good, but MCC, we're going deeper. And if there's a stone that you feel you need to uncover, if you feel that there's something, you don't let it go. You just, what's going on? What was that expression of your on your face? Well, you're saying this, but your face is saying something else. You don't let any of that pass. You give it back to the client. And it's not about your performance, it's more about getting deeper so that the client can get the full value. You can get vulnerable. You can be authentic, what you feel, what you sense. You play it back and you fully trust the client. Some questions that show that level at ACC. Well, because the coach is focused on their performance, I think this approach, this framework, the 5 whys, so this could be the best path forward recommendation. Yeah, they want to ensure they perform well. At PCC, okay, let's explore. I'm curious, what's your, so you see, PCC questions are good. Only thing that like PCC, a lot of questions I get, maybe because I'm working or for a long time also was working to become an MCC. What's the difference between PCC and MCC? At PCC, yeah, some trust. Okay, what so? But there's a huge focus on what the situation. Find a problem, find a way, the solution, the what. There's a lot of trust to find a solution. So at the end of the call, if the coach trusted the client and they could come up with a solution, it's good. At MCC, um, you fully trust the client, and there's no, if you feel like 30 minutes or 20 minutes have gone in a 30 minutes call, like this is a reality, a real thing I did early years. Okay, let's have just this thing. I have this toolkit. I told you I have a lot of toolkits. So I will just remove one and share with the in the early years. And when I learned the clients, so I started switching. What solution? What can we move? But it was essential for me that at each call, the client gets go out with a solution. And did I tell you that one of my super strength is problem solving? So I wanted to ensure they came for this, and there's at least one solution. But this is solution to the what, not the who. So the switch to really be able to get to MCC, I had to do a lot of work to trust the client. So even if we are like 20 minutes in a 30 minutes call, to be able to drop, oh, Judy, 20 minutes, no solution is emerging. Go and grab one of these. I mean, since you've been listening, all that noise to say save the situation. You don't need to save the client. They are good. They are capable. So MCC level coaching, 20 minutes in a call and nothing is emerging. Hey, how are you feeling now? Where are you now? You could be surprised how much can come up when you just give that to the client. Well, they'll, your question gets them thinking, what have I gotten so far? Yeah, I'm seeing this, and they may bring up things you were not aware was happening with your solution thing. Oh, there's no solution. They've gotten already a lot, like just you letting me notice that, okay, my emotion were not aligned with what I'm seeing. There might be more. Wow, cool. And what do you want to do about that? Hey, do you see the difference? It's not just a solution. They learn that maybe they are not really completely authentic with what they want or whatever was going on there. So you trust and you leave the client. You trust that he will come up with something. This process, the 30 minutes will not end without them coming up with something. And even if at the end, I've had calls where at the end, so any insights? What did you learn? I didn't get much about what I came for. Initially, like that, I will finish that call and cry. It's like, wow, I've not been a great coach because, like he said, he got nothing, so I failed. It has nothing, it's not about you, Judith. It's all about the client. Okay, I got nothing. So where, well, how do you want to take it from here? You leave it to them, and they will tell you what they want to do. MCC is not about you, it's about the client. What are they learning? What do they want to do? What do they acknowledge? Um, yeah, definitely sounds like it was very ambitious of me to say, yes, producer, let's do these videos and keep them under 15 minutes. So, I've done more than that. It's already 20 minutes in the video. But as you have access to the slides, there's much more content coming. Like you have even more examples. And you see here this contra evidence, some of the things that we do that demonstrate that we do not trust. I will, like, you see a lot of leading. Yeah, maybe I'll close with this one. There's a big, there's a big link. Oh, I'm already being told, go, 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 go. I'm sorry. I'll just say this and then I'm gone. Yeah. So there's a big link between control and trust. One way to check in your recording if you trust yourself, the client, the process. Are you trying to control the conversation? I know I did. And that's how I knew I didn't trust. I gave you some example. Just 10 minutes in the conversation and there's no solution emerging, like this conversation is going. I'm not trusting the client, I'm not trusting the process. Judith, superwoman, come and save the situation. Control is opposed, like it's not the same thing like trust. If you trust the client, you stay in the trusting posture and you trust that even in the closing something will emerge. You don't try to save them, they will figure out. They are resourceful, they are brilliant. And I you just keep that posture, that trust. So one thing that you can use to check, am I encouraging trust and safety? Am I trying to control the outcome, control the conversation, control the learning? Give it a try. Just drop the control and allow the client, the process to go on and just see where it goes. Just give it a try. And I mean, if you're watching this, you have my contacts. Feel free to reach out if you feel like letting go the control is yielding more impact than trying to control the situation. I'll let you go with that reflection. Hopefully, you learned something. Go through the end of the slides. Look at the behavior that may cause you not to get the mark for the core competency. Feel free to give feedback, to ask questions, or to give your own take on this core competency. It was a pleasure, and I can't wait to continue this conversation. Next up will be presence, which is closely related to trust and safety. Until next time, take care. Bye.